Welcome back to Taylor's Tech Repair. What in the world are we getting into today? Well, we're going to get into an HP and then a Lenovo ThinkPad. I think the ThinkPad is not going to be in great condition. We might be able to use some parts out of it. No clue. The, it is not one that I got from a recycling plant. It's actually someone that gave it to me um, to look at, possibly fix, see what I can do with it. They just willingly gave it to me. And then I have that HP from the recycle place. So let's go ahead, jump into the ThinkPad. Let me grab the charger for it and try turning it on. So we got signs of life. We got keyboard came on, screen came on. So we'll give it a few moments here. Saying Lenovo, please wait. Okay, it says it looks like Windows didn't load properly. Let me see if I can actually get this to show up um, for you guys. Real quick. If not, I'll just do what I've been doing. I know some of these laptops, if you're not fully booted in, it doesn't let you see. Some of them it does. So saying um, Windows didn't load properly. I'm going to reset this PC actually and see what happens. It might take a little bit for that to reset. If it doesn't load up Windows, we can take our USB and try to boot from there, wipe the drive, and then install Windows on the new drive, or on the same drive, I should say. And it looks like it booted in. Now I'll push this back just in case. Okay, so it is asking um, for a password. Since this was given to me, and they didn't actually care if they got it back, they didn't know the password. We're gonna have to wipe it, like I was saying. I'm gonna restart it. And then usually it's going to be like F8, F12, F10, one of those combinations to get it to boot in BIOS, or I'll tell it to boot from the USB once it restarts. It's taking a little bit for it to restart here. This one is a little dusty, so we'll just clean it up after we do that. And then this one should be all ready to go. As long as it doesn't have like any battery issues or any other issues on it. It's taking so long to restart, I'm just going to do a hard reset on it. We're going to try F12 first, whenever we're booting up. So we're entering boot menu. Pull us back down. And it looks like it might let me boot up. It might boot into BIOS. I'll give it a few moments here. It still went right back. Windows. Let me try that again. And it says to interrupt the boot to hit enter. I'm gonna try that first. Okay, there we go. And you have to actually tell it to pause, or else it will start booting up, which is what just happened there. Um, So either go to BIOS or choose a temporary startup device. We'll go to BIOS either way. That's where I like going, telling it to boot from the USB first. So we'll go all the way over to startup. We'll hit boot, and USB C or USB is actually 7th. I want to move that all the way up. Number 1. We're save and exit, and then hopefully we boot from that USB. We'll wipe the disk or wipe the drive, um, and then install Windows on it. Okay. Still going to this recovery screen. I want to see advanced repair options. I'm going to use the device. I'm just going to go ahead and reset it from here. Okay, that did not work. Um, troubleshoot, advanced options. We're going to try wiping the drive if it's going to let me. So that's going to be disk, part, all one word. It's going to take a second. Then list, disk, clear. Then we're going to select, disk, 0, then clear. Or clean. Sorry, not clear. Okay, so that has been cleaned. So I'm going to tell it to list disk again, just to make sure. Yes. So we're going to exit, exit. We're going to reboot. So now the drive that was in it, either I think it's probably an SSD in this one, should be wiped. It should not have Windows on it. Only our USB should have Windows on it to boot from. So that's starting back up. I'm going to boot from the USB. And it's not liking that boot option. Let me just make sure that this USB is still good. Still has Windows on it, everything. Just to double. Yep, that still has, um, still looks all good. Still has Windows on it. Let me try a different USB port, possibly, and we'll try turning back on. Okay. It's still, for some reason, not booting from this USB. So I want to take a look at a couple things. That all looks good. Let's look at diagnostics, if we can get there. Let's look at storage. Okay. You can see in everything. Let's go ahead and exit. We're going to run a diagnostic on it. So everything's passing so far. We just got to figure out why it's not booting from that USB. And I don't even know. Let me see. It's not gonna let me see what it's all gonna test. Maybe it will. No. There it goes. Okay. Let's stop the tests. Okay. And I'm gonna try rebooting again. Okay. I'm gonna take a look, see what's going on here. Give me just a second. Okay. I want to try to go back into BIOS um, and see if we can change the type of boot that it pulls. Do what's called a legacy boot. Okay, so it looks like it has secure boot on, which is why it's not letting me boot from that USB. So let's get that turned off. Go down to secure boot and disable that. So now, if we were to save this, we should be able to boot from that USB. So basically, it was locking it down where you couldn't boot from any other device. So I had to turn off that setting real quick. So now it should let me boot from that USB, and it's still not letting me do it. So we're going to exit again. Turn this off. Turn it back on. What I thought would be a simple boot up is turning a little bit more complicated, but that's okay. We'll make sure the changes were kept on our security and our secure boot. It's disabled, so that's good. Let's go back to boot. USB is first. Let's change where we can do a boot, legacy boot and a UEFI boot. Okay. So let's save it again. We'll see if it lets us boot this time. There we go. So we had to change it to the boot type we were on and the turn off um, the security on it. So we're going to install Windows onto the drive that's in there. We'll set this aside once that install starts going through. Pull out the HP that we got. And then I'm going to do custom just like I always do. Choose this boot. And that is starting. All right. So we'll set this aside. Okay, so that is finishing up. This is going to restart in just a few seconds. I expect since the laptop went completely dead whenever you disconnected the battery, that it is a bad battery. That's in there as well. So I want to make sure this actually boots from um, internal instead of external. All right. So that did boot right into Windows where it's supposed to be. So let's disconnect this, see what happens. Dies right away. So that tells me it is a bad battery in it. I don't have any Lenovo batteries laying around. So we're going to have to make a note that this does need a battery and that we'll have to come back to it. So we'll set that aside. Our needs parts drawer. And then we'll get out an HP. So before I set this fully aside, it is Lenovo ThinkPad. And then let me see what model it is for that battery. And actually, if I look at this right, battery should be very easy. Pop in and out. Just slides it right on out, and we can slide it right back in. So that won't be too hard to fix in the future once we get one um, sent in. It's a Lenovo. Actually, don't see the sticker or model on the back. See about the front. T470 battery. All right, so we're done with that. Set that aside. We'll grab this HP that I've been looking at, wanting to get into. An HP NB. So I'm gonna grab the HP part for the my universal charger and throw it on there and see if it comes on. All right, so it's turned on. So it's missing a key. See that right away. The power button, I believe, is on side of it. Yes, top left. So we might have to get a 9 key. Uh, but let's see if this turns on. Okay, it's telling us the battery may need to be replaced or it's very low, which is fine. It's been sitting around for a while. Boot device not found as well. Okay. So let's turn this, disconnect it, and turn it off. All right. So let's open it up and see if there is indeed a boot device. Let me get grounded here. We'll get this torn open and I'll take a look inside of it. We got at least 2 Phillips here, 2 Torques actually in the middle, and then I'm gonna guess 2 Phillips under these rubber pads here. Let me get the Torques out and loose, loosened up. Grab one that's too big, go down a size. Okay, let me go down more here. Try this one back here. Wow. Okay. We might have some problems getting that out. There we go. So it is a T4 screw in there. So those are all loose. And then let me see if there's any screws under here. And there is under both sides. Actually, there's not. Okay, so we'll put that back down. so that there's torques, 3 torques at the top up there. Flip this around, we'll unscrew those, then rip up this plastic. Not really rip it up, we'll just take it off. That's what will be loose. And then go from there. Okay, so all the screws are loose. So let's see if we can get this to come out. Okay, I'm still feeling a little bit resistance. Let's take out the rest of the screws completely here. I mean, they are loose and undone, but let me just remove them all together. If it's going to come out. Does not look like that's going to be the case. Okay, grab these other two. These came out. Let me just make sure there's nothing under here. Doesn't look like there is. No, there's no screw under there. So everything's unscrewed, so we should be able to pull this off, but there's something in there holding it down. See if we can get on the other side possibly. Okay. It is interesting that this is magnetic right here. That might be what's it down so much, maybe? Okay. Let's try it higher up. See if we can get it somewhere. There we go. Go. We got that out. Saying boot device not found, but we have a boot device. We have a hard drive in it. Um, Battery looks a little strange, but it's nothing perplexing, really. Um, so everything looks fine to me. We're gonna put this back together, screw it back down, and then see if we can boot from the USB. Putting 4 bottom screws in first. screw in these Phillips, and then one of the Torx did come out. Grab a screw for that. In fact, well, the Phillips also came out, so we'll grab a Phillips and a small screw to fit in that other hole here. Yeah, that one did not seem to want to go in there. Let's try those other ones. That one feels like it's going to screw in. Yep. Then grab a small one for those boards that came out. Okay. So let's unground ourselves. We'll plug in our USB and try booting up from there. Plug it in. We're gonna plug in the USB. And turn it on. Now, since the battery did look a little strange, it might be a bad battery. Still wanting us to install a hard drive. We're going to hit F2 to go into the system diagnostics. Actually, we don't need to run any diagnostics. We're going to try to get into BIOS, which is again, and then try moving that boot device up. Okay. I'm going to hit F12 and F10 here as we're booting up. Maybe we can F8. Just to see if we can get BIOS to come up. Okay. Still couldn't get it. There we go. We got into BIOS. So push F10. Go to boot options, which is under the third tab. USB boot is enabled. Let's move our USB up here. The USB is up on top. We're going to enable a legacy boot as well. And try booting to Windows from that USB now. Okay. Saying it's changed. Of course, we did that. And it's asked me to put in a code, but it's not letting me put that in. Saying legacy boot mode's also on, or secure boot's also on, so I'm gonna turn that off. We'll see if it boots up this time. If not, we'll go back into BIOS and take a look at that. So the boot order stayed the same. Legacy boot got disabled. Change USB at the top. And then we need to somehow turn off um, secure boot. The secure boot's disabled. Strange, because whenever we try to change it, it says it's enabled. Let me take a look at what's going on here. Okay. Okay, so it looks like it's a touch screen. Did not realize that. So that's why I had to put in a code using the touch screen. Let's go ahead and change this, save the settings here. So I have to put 1460 enter on the touchpad. Yes, I also allowed that. 8621 enter. Okay, so let's hope our Windows opens up here. We're going to continue startup because we're not really worried about the battery at this point until we can get Windows installed. Okay, so this is starting to come up. Bring it down here. We'll install Windows on it. We'll see if the battery is bad or if it's just extremely low. We'll pull the battery. I do have a couple HP batteries I should have looked at whenever we had the bottom off. The one I would have would fit. If it is a bad battery or not. We also need a 9 key. Which is going to be an interesting thing to order. All right. Just like always, next, install. And we'll take a look at what's going on in that drive that is already in here. Accept the terms, and then we're going to choose custom, and it's not showing the drive that we saw in here. We know it's in here. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Actually, let me disconnect from power. Okay, it stayed on, so I'm not worried about that battery. I don't think we have bad batteries. Just think it was low. But we might have a bad drive in it. So once again, we'll open this up. We'll double check, triple check that the drive is fully attached. We undo these top Phillips screws first. Now that I say that, let me do the 3 Phillips screws. I forgot that one of these is now a Phillips. Okay, all those are loose. And then let me loose up all the other ones. Okay, those are all loosened up. Turn it around. And unscrew these 4. Now one of them doesn't want to come unscrewed now, even though we unscrewed it just a little bit ago. Okay. There we go, we got in there to get it unscrewed. Let's move these screws over, open it up, and we'll check a couple things here. So it clearly has that boot device, as we saw. Me ground myself. Unless this fooled me and there's nothing under here, which I would highly doubt. But it's possible. Possible that nothing under this cover, and I just got fooled whenever I looked at it. Get those unscrewed. If we can get this lifted up. There we go. Okay, no, it has a boot device right here. Right in it. Now, why aren't you finding it? Let me disconnect it. That cable goes right into here. It looks fully seated. Let me double check, make sure that everything's pushed down on it and good. Yep. Everything's fully seated on it. This looks all good. We might have to replace this, but for right now, let's reconnect it and then try booting it again. See if it can find it. If not, we might have to get a new drive for it. So I'm not going to put cover down at the moment, or the bottom down the moment. I'm just going to flip it over and try booting again. Okay, we're back. So for some reason, it's not getting any power. Now that we took that boot device out, put it back in, it's getting nothing. Disconnect it, reconnect it. I can see that's detecting that charger, just not turning on. Oh, some of these screws are a little loose. It does have that magnet feature. I wonder if it has some kind of safety feature where you can't boot unless this is fully down. Possibly what's going on here. Get these two retightened real quick. Okay. Yep, there we go. So now it's turned on. It's an interesting feature that the magnets are right here, right here. So like, I don't know if I like that feature or not. Definitely interesting. Okay, Windows did try to show up for a split second. Probably booting off the hard drive though, or the USB drive instead of the hard drive. I did make sure everything's seated, everything looks good. What I'm probably going to have to do is replace the hard drive in it, but we'll see if it comes up right now. Same thing as before. Um, install Windows, install now. See if that drive shows up. If not, I'll replace the drive in it um, and see if that works. I actually already have to get a drive, so I'll get one for that computer, but I'll put it in here first, see if it detects it. That way I know if it's something else going on. Accept the terms. Okay, nope, it's still not finding that drive. So we'll get a drive for this, and then we'll try installing Windows, and then if that works, might get a 9 key for it. So this video is going to be a little longer than the weekly videos I've been doing. I've already been recording for an hour, so I'll try to get that as condensed as possible. But thanks for sticking around if you have, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.